What's going on with y'all, man? Hope you guys are having a good weekend so far. Good afternoon to everybody. Glad to have you guys in the building, ready to do how we do, chopping it up on the Saturday vibe. I'm early. I ain't gonna be on here too long because I am doing family stuff a little later this afternoon. But how y'all doing, man? Hope you guys are having a good weekend so far. Shout out to everybody who came by the Hidden History Museum today. A lot of people came by today. You guys can come back to the museum Monday. We're open Mondays, Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays. So y'all come on through Monday. And also we got an event happening Saturday, October 26th at the Hidden History Museum. I keep you guys posted on that. But glad to have everybody tapping in. Shout out to everybody in here. We're going to get calls in a second. We're going to get right to the calls immediately. People are trying to get the calls in early and things like that. Hold on, let me start letting y'all in here now. People are trying to get in early. Um,
Good up.
what's up, good?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Where you calling from?
I'm from DC.
DCR, what's on your mind, bro?
Ain't too much, man. Ain't too much. Now, I just got a quick question. I don't want to take up your time. It's in regards to reparations. What you feel like? Should it be like a limit? Because with this new generation, there's a lot of these biracials that's coming out like white, like like Logic and like Isaiah Hartenstein. So, what you feel like as far as that? Because some of them claim that they black, but they look white.
Yeah, well, the thing is, we got to make sure people's paperwork is in order. We're going to have them documented as being classified as black. That's very important currently.
Right, right.
That's very important. Your current status, because people talk a good game, and then you look at the paperwork, and they got all these other racial categories on there. A lot of Hispanics do that. A lot of Hispanics, they'll be black when it's convenient, but you look at their arrest record or medical record or whatever, it says white, and many of them are darker than us, and that joint will say white. So we got to look at people's paperwork because yeah, we will get some Rachel Dolezalling in the game because when the money starts coming, everybody's going to dig up the black great grandmother somewhere, and there are a lot of people who are classified as white who actually do somewhere down the line have some black relative somewhere. There's a lot of them who do, but they don't classify themselves as black now. So we're not going to let nobody try to spin the block on the claim and try to claim blackness because of some distant relative. They tried to do that with Zimmerman. Remember, they tried to say, hey, he's not no white supremacist. He has a black grandmother from Mexico somewhere. Yeah, so we ain't gonna play that game. We ain't gonna play that game at all. There's a lot of people who got black relatives and who are majorly anti-black and don't identify with black. You got people from who come over here from Africa and don't identify with black. You got the Myron Gaines of the world who's darker than many of us from Africa and talks greasy about black people. So yeah, we're cleaning all that up. Mr. Early, what's happening?
Peace, Tariq. I just want to be very quick and I'll hop off. I want to know when Obama signed UNDRIP in 2010, you don't think that was reparations? It's called United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. Thanks a lot.
All right. Now, how would no, don't run. Now, how would
Yeah.
that be reparations?
I mean, if you read the articles, it's pretty apparent.
Reparations for who?
I guess for indigenous peoples.
Okay. What was the allocation of resources? What was allocated towards those indigenous people?
If you read all the articles, it talks about self-determination and talks about the right to own banking institutions, a lot of stuff.
Okay. But here's the thing. Who did they federally recognize as being indigenous? That's the other trick bag of it.
Yeah, I agree with that, but
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. I agree. I have to do more research on it
There you
myself.
go. There you go. You got to do research on that, brother. That's a
Uh,
nothing burger. It means nothing. So you answered your own question and meant absolutely nothing. Because if they say somebody, we got something for indigenous people, okay, who do you federally recognize as indigenous? Because foundational Black Americans, many of us are indigenous. We got indigenous ancestry going on, going into this land for thousands of years. Many of us are clicked in with indigenous groups of this land, but it's not federally recognized. They just throw the Negro thing on us. Okay. Then federally recognize what foundational Black Americans are. See, we can play this thing many different ways. Again, Trump is talking about giving federal recognition to the Lumbee tribe out there in North Carolina. When he gets in office, he says he's going to give them federal recognition. So, you know, it's all about understanding the culture and all of these loose words being thrown out there. See, we got to start, getting definitions of words. We got to stop letting people be so vague. Just like our brother Neely Fuller talked about, man, we got to really hammer down on these words because the white supremacists, they're very good at throwing words out there that's very vague and we think they mean something, and they can trip us up with these vague words without giving clear definitions. See, that's what's going on with the puppy, with the Diddy thing right now. That's what's going on. That's why I'm not co-signing what's going on with that Diddy case. I'm not co-signing that because that's some I'm white and I say so vagaries. The accusations against Puffy, it's so damn vague, it's ridiculous. No Black person should be co-signing that. And every time we start questioning the law and the precedent of law that they're setting, you got these goofy Sambo-minded Negroes talking about, well, why you defending Diddy? It sound like you defending Diddy. Defending what? What are you accusing him of? The accusations are not even clear about what's going on. It's very vague. They're talking about trafficking, sex trafficking. Trafficking who? Who are the victims? And then they're talking about dudes and baby oil. Now, we're not talking about children. See, this is what I'm saying. These vague words they're throwing out, trafficking and coercion. How are you defining that? See, y'all got to stop going along with every damn thing because a lot of the people that they're talking about are so-called victims are dudes. How you a dude getting trafficked by another dude? Trafficked how? It ain't like Diddy is putting you on a host roll. It's a trick bill he's paying. He's tricking off money and getting charged as a trafficker. It's all vague and in the air, and it makes zero sense when you start looking into the details of it. You got to stop co-signing vague ass stuff, man, because that sets a precedent so that these vague laws can be enforced racially. See, that's my concern. My concern about the racial enforcement of these vague ass um, laws that they're putting out here, where these laws were supposed to be after organized crime, where bodies would show up and they would use terms like coercion, like you coerce a person to commit a crime and go commit a murder. That's what those terms were for. It wasn't coercion, wasn't like, hey, yeah, I give you $100 for some pussy. That's coercion now. You see, we got to be very, got to lock these words down, man, and put the hate to the side. Yeah, if you want to hate on Diddy, that's fine. I don't give a damn about nobody hating on you. If you want to hate on somebody, knock yourself out. I'm about what laws are being put out here now and how they're going to enforce them and how that's going to affect the Black community. I'm looking at the bigger picture. This goes beyond just hating on Diddy. That's childish to me. I'm looking at the big picture. Somebody has to be the grown up in the room and say, hey, how's this going to play out with the whole community years to come? That's what I'm looking at. That is what I'm looking at. Let's get Dupree in the building. Then we're going to get Scallywag in the building. Then we'll get Professor Jack. Okay. That sounds, your profile looks very trollish, but all right, Dupree, you good? What's up, brother?
Yo, what's up, bro?
I'm good.
So,
How are you?
man, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. I'm calling out of the DC area, Freeman all day.
All day. Go ahead.
Negro too, all that shit. It's a security tribe, FBA, everybody.
Yes,
So,
indeed.
all right, I got a question. When talking about like taking over propaganda and media, I feel like if we can put together a big conglomerate of like producers like yourself, maybe like Dr. Call, I mean not Dr. Boyce Watkins, Jason Black, like all of those guys are doing media doing documentaries. I think that maybe we could bind and maybe almost compete with the big wigs as far as like putting out movies and documentaries. That and and it kind of essentially building a powerful think tank as well.
Right.
One question though, as far as when it comes to like that criteria for like you to classify as black, I agree with you in terms of like the reparations thing. But if we got to stay away from racial, is there a way we can like avoid saying black, being you having to classify as black?
Yeah. Right. Right. Listen. Yes. Yes. There are ways. That's why we have to learn how to use different words that mean the same thing. When we talk about being foundational Black Americans, we are talking about that culture.
Yeah.
Very important. We get up in rooms. I don't know what was going on. That noise. And I had to raise my voice over that noise. But yeah, that's where we start using the term freedman. So that's not we're not saying race, but we're talking about a status. See, that's how they get us with the giving money to Hispanics. So what they do, they don't say we're going to give money to Hispanics. They say we're going to give it to migrants. You understand? Those are the migrants that they generally give the money to. And a migrant, that's a status. So we got to understand how to use different words that mean the same thing. See, black folks, unfortunately, cats get into like some goofball ego thing. Like if you start using different terms, you got cats want to sit up and argue. Well, I had started using it first. Why y'all using it? I had used it first. I came up with it first. I just want some recognition. I is important. You got it turns into Amos and Andy when Negroes want a butter biscuit cookie. You know that type. I don't get into that stuff. That's why when people try to say I'm the leader of this, don't make this shit about me. Here's a word, use it, go ahead and knock yourself out. Long as we get what we're supposed to get. I don't give a damn about being perceived as the leader or the front man. I don't give a damn. I just want us to get on code and get something as a damn group. I ain't with none of that ego ass stuff. All right, let's get Professor in here first, because he seems like he's gonna be kind of trollish. Then I'll get Scallywag in here. Professor J, hop in, man.
How's it going, Tariq? No trolling today. First of all, I want to say I'm a huge fan of bush meat. Bush meat tastes so good to me. I've been singing it all day,
Okay,
and
okay.
so I'm,
And by the
I'm
way,
not black
it's
myself.
gonna, hold on. By the way, there's gonna be an album coming for the white supremacists too.
All right, great, yeah. So yeah, I'm not black myself, but I'm very respectful of the foundational Black American
Cool.
community.
And
And
look, and by the way, the next album is called Low Birth Rate Love.
okay,
We,
okay, Tariq.
we, do-
Um,
we all
so
low birth rate love. It's gonna be hotter than bushmeat. But go ahead, Jay.
So yeah, so the one thing I was wondering is, so with this Diddy situation, I was kind of wondering how Diddy isn't a tether, because my tether, my tether senses, when I look at a man like Diddy, are going off, especially with all the accusations. Number one, he's from New York, and
Right.
there's a lot of tethers in New York. There's not that many. I lived in New York. Most of the black people there were Caribbean,
Yeah.
and he just looks kind of Caribbean, and I just think he's a tether. What do you think?
If you have proof of it, you got to show the proof. From what I understand, I think father is definitely FBA. The mother, I think she is. It might be some questionable stuff there. I don't know. But from what we know, I think he comes from an FBA lineage, at least on his father's side. So that's what it is. Now, where are you from? What part of Europe is your family from?
All around, I'm a mutt.
Well, yeah,
But
like
yeah,
Ireland,
I'm
Ireland.
trying to wonder a little bit more about how you tell. Like I think with Africans it's very easy to tell a tether, but with Caribbeans it's like a little bit harder. So I'm trying to learn about how more you tell a Caribbean tether from an FBA.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we can. There's a few things we can tell. Some can blend in if they've been here long enough. But yeah, we can tell the vibe, the swag, certain things we can tell. Just like from your community, you guys can kind of tell a German from an Irish person and an Irish person from an English person. So y'all can tell, right?
Yeah, yeah. But one more thing though is like even if if Diddy wasn't a tether, like I feel like for your purposes, for your like movement, I think calling him a tether would be a good idea because
Why would that?
you could kind of just put all that stuff onto him and that community and just like it'd be good for your movement, I think maybe.
No, 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 because we got to be truthful. No, well, we got to be truthful. We can't be like you guys, just lying all the damn time. We don't have the luxury to be pathological liars. We have to be very truthful, and the ramifications of those laws that they enforce based on race that can affect us. So it's just best to be honest about all of that. Let's get Scalawag in here. Scalawag, hop on.
Tariq Nasheed, how the hell's it going?
I'm good, Mr. Scallywag. How are you?
I can't complain. So, I'm sure you heard about the whole reparations thing in California. How they just they apologized, right?
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure you, within the foundational Black American community, you guys, the feeling is you guys aren't going to see reparations. I mean, do you feel that way?
No, we're going to get reparations. We don't know when. It's going to come. It's inevitable. They can stall, but yeah, we're going to get reparations. It's inevitable. That is happening. And what the Democrats is doing, that's fine because what they're doing is crashing out. They're making us lose more trust in them, which is good. If they want to crash out by not doing the right thing, that makes me sleep good at night too. So yeah,
Exactly. That's where I was going with it. I was like, you know what? It seems like they fucked you guys over since the civil rights movement. And I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, I think, I mean, for the foundational Black American community, you seem like the spokesperson. I mean, just throwing it out there. I mean, I'm just saying you should reach out to, I mean, somebody in the Republican Party, the Trump administration, and like, look, you got to support for anti-war, getting out of NATO, you know, withdrawing our troops, and all that money we save from fucking overseas wars and all these military installations. I'm like, I'm all good with giving reparations if it gets us out of Europe and out of NATO and all that bullshit. But
right.
but I mean, like everything's transactional. Nobody's gonna just like, oh yeah, let me just give you. I'm sure you understand that.
Right.
It's like you
And
gotta give to.
we're corresponding with candidates across the board. I'll say that. We are corresponding and people are reaching out. So, and people are watching our spaces, especially over here. And for the record, I'm not a spokesperson for anything. I'm a media person. I just do media. I just report what's going on and what people are saying and just kind of I give my assessment on what's happening. Um,
In the heart of nature, we find our true strength, a connection to our roots, to the land, to each other. Introducing Rootwork deodorant, infused with the potent power of High John the Conqueror root. Embrace the natural strength and resilience passed down through generations. Feel the purity of natural ingredients, harmonizing with your body and spirit. Rootwork deodorant, bringing you in tune with nature and with yourself. Rootwork deodorant. Connect, empower, thrive. Available now at rootworkstyle.com.